to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
So, Data's mentioned, thanks, he was busy at work. He'll get back to me. But Nicole beat him to the punch like almost within 10 minutes, easy.
Because she was probably working at home
Or could have been.
Yeah.
And then he had messaged me something like, maybe he wasn't sure. I can't remember the context, but he mentioned planner. And I went, fuck. I felt bad because I'm like, I didn't know you guys had a planner. I didn't mean to step on anybody's toes. Certainly defer to the person.
You're not stepping on anyone's toes. They didn't know.
Right. So then I think maybe on his lunch break or towards his end of day, he was like, get to the mail, blah, blah, blah. I apologized because I didn't know they had a planner. And he was like, I may have overstated planner. He's like, I think he said it was Nicole's aunt. And it's more like she's roped in because she can help drive stuff with
vigor.
More forceful tones than either of them would, or had more spare time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, well, it certainly wasn't my intent to run anybody over.
Yeah.
I just hadn't heard. In my mail, too, I'm like, so just to double check, things you may or may not want me to say, things that are off limits, or things that you need me to say or mention, just in case.
Like butt stuff?
Right. And just in case someone, her side in particular, since I'm not all that familiar, may want something briefly covered or referenced, while she may not, it may make mom or grandma or grandpa happy to have some sort of reference to religious text or something. I'm like, I don't care about that. You just let me know what is. Nicole was like, we don't care. We trust you. Because I said, I haven't written it all out yet, but if you want to proofread it, and she's like,
it's $90 a word.
Right. She's like, $90. $3.50. She's like, nope, we trust you. Don't care. Don't mention anything about XYZ or Chandler would probably explode.
Really?
Funny haha stuff about religious references.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not his bag.
Yeah, not his. Yeah, that's fine.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, here's like a sample of what I did say at Zombie and Dragons. Certainly there was a context, so it wasn't like I would take that and just repurpose it and put it into theirs. Like, they'll get something completely boutique and unique to their experience. I said, I'm not up there to sell anything or proselytize a faith.
Or buy anything.
Right. So
process anything.
We're not going to be there for 20 minutes. I'm going to say some kind words, some romantic shit, I'm sure. Some people may weep a little bit. I don't know. But if it goes more than 10 minutes, at best, I'm up there too long. And she's like, no, short and sweet. I asked if they had vows that they wanted to exchange. She said yes, so that gets to shorten what I need to say because they're going to say stuff.
Yeah.
And then I asked if they wanted the kissy trigger, like you were free to kiss the groom because you wear the pants.
Sure.
Yeah, and she was like, "Yeah, absolutely fine." And then she, said the photographer mentioned that when we do that part, you get the fuck out of the way for the photo. I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. In fact, in Mike's and Angie's, I was off to the side because I was like, I don't need to be in the picture. Like, they'll take a picture of me in stills afterwards. They'll put me somewhere.
They'll Photoshop you.
Yeah, they'll put me in post, man, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But I was like, this isn't about me anyway, so I don't need to be front and center. I can be off to the side. I'll
for sure.
Anyway. So, but it was nice to level set. Attire, black on black on black on black. I'm like, sweet, I like this. This is doable.
Yeah, I'm like, it's running up on me like the date.
Yeah,
and it goes back to the calendar challenge part of me.
Yeah,
that I've talked about several times.
Yeah,
3 weeks ish.
Yeah, and
we're running up at it. So,
I mean, we're under 30 days.
It's really starting to hit me that it's happening.
Yeah.
Where before it just seemed like it was so far out. And now it's like, oh shit, we're like 3.5 weeks or whatever, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's crazy. Always something going on.
It's always something.
Yeah. And this, so for those not in the know, my son is getting married on September 21st. So that's nuts.
I do hope it cools down because suit, man.
I know.
We're all going to be hot messes. But it is up the hill a ways.
It still gets hot up there.
So it should cool some. And I was highly hopeful last weekend that we were turning the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm looking at forecast for the week and I went, well, it dropped under 100. Oh. No.
Yeah, today we are back up over 100.
God damn it.
It is Apple Hill. It's a little cooler up there, but it's still warm.
Right. Yeah.
It's not... there's a lot of shade and stuff there, too. And I don't recall exactly what the time on the ceremony is. Do you remember?
No.
So, things...
He was like, do you know where we're going for our honeymoon? I went, yeah, Disney World. And he's like, did I tell you that? I went, it's on your invitation, dumbass. He's like, God damn it, Nicole.
I think I even told you that.
I mean, pick your... Yeah, everyone told me but you, dude.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, sort of like dad in shock a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of weird.
How's mom?
I think a little bit of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melly.
She's
like, I'm working.
I have a job that I don't get paid for.
Right.
So that's great.
Fantastic.
I need gas, by the way, Dad.
Yeah, gas money.
No, we take her and fill her car and bring.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. She's like, I need gas. So we run over and get gas.
Yeah.
At Sam's or Costco. Yeah.
Do you have to? Because why not just? There's not a card or a access code that you could just give her, or do you have to be present?
You have to have a membership card at both places in order to buy gas. Number one.
Oh.
And she doesn't have one.
Oh.
The Sam's Club membership is Chandler's that Shanna has a card for. I do not.
Oh.
The Costco membership is mine that Chandler has a part. So we have we can both go to Sam's or Costco.
Oh, right.
So so Shanna can't go to Costco and buy gas. Melly can't go to either one and buy gas. But I can't go to Sam's and buy gas because I wouldn't anyway because it's not a top tier gas.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'll put that shit in the car.
Not in my car.
Yeah, no.
It needs to be a decent top tier gas.
Sure.
But anyway, so yeah, she just, it's an event happening to her is kind of what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Is it that much cheaper?
Well, I mean, considering I have to buy premium, it makes a difference.
Does it?
I think I paid I can look on my phone.
I don't know what the current price of gas is. I'm just like, is it like a dime or 25 cents? Like,
They're significantly cheaper than like going to Chevron or Shell.
My dad does it. Like when he comes down on Friday,
fills up.
He stops. He stops at the Costco right there, and then he goes and eat at the something Golden Corral buffet over there by the Nugget, and then he stops here.
So I went early in, I think Monday night. I took Millie's car to go get gas in it to Costco, and it was $3.93.
I want to say that's way cheaper than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say Chevron's up in the high $4s.
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Costco and Sam's both went up in price since then. So it kind of came down and kind of popped back up.
Yeah.
But the 91 is it used to be like a 10 or 20 cent difference between 87, 89, and 91.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably why it's different. I think it's about a 40-cent difference for 91. That makes sense because Costco does not carry 89.
Oh.
So they only have 87 and 91. So that's why there's a bigger price discrepancy
between their lows and highs?
Yeah.
Because they don't have the medium.
Because they don't have a medium. Yeah, usually it's about 20 cents difference, I think. So that's interesting. Makes a big difference.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Over time.
not in your car, but in...
I mean, it does make a difference in my car because if I was going to Chevron, it would be $5.
Oh, wait. So you do?
I go to Costco because they have top tier gas.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
Costco does.
Sam's doesn't.
Sam's does not.
I don't buy gas at Sam's.
Yeah.
But Shan has like the thing on her phone. She doesn't even have a card. She just, boop, Or actually, at Sam's you can pay with your phone. You like scan the barcode in the app.
Yeah.
And then it like has a linked card, and then you pay. Costco, you scan your membership at the pump, and then you can use Apple Pay.
What?
Which is awesome. It's on your chest now.
Is it?
No, it just flew away.
Some sort of mic. Where were we? I was doing something because I only get Chevron.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It may have been heading to SAC for something, and we were late already. And I was like, fuck, I need gas. We were later because I had to go get gas at the Chevron. The closest Chevron is towards your way.
Right.
Just to get gas.
Yeah.
Because I'm like.
Where were you going?
I think it was downtown, SAC.
Oh,
downtown.
you were going downtown. So you had to like cut across, get gas, and then kind of.
It may have been the rock climbing.
Oh, okay.
Like that morning, I was like, fuck, I should have got gas last night.
Because you're not going to 65 to get on 80. You're going out to 80, like through Kirby Way, typically, right?
For that, yes, I was going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, if given, I just would have gone straight out here towards baseline and then gone out. But I had to go backwards to come forwards.
Yeah, you made a longer angle.
Right. And then I'm like, well, do I just go to 65 over here?
No, 65 is never the answer.
And then I was like, no, I'll have to come back Washington and I'll just go that way.
From my house, if I'm going to SAC or somewhere south of Roseville, I will cut through town and take Vernon/Riverside and get on at Riverside and Kirby.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
I hate going 65. It's always stacked up. And then depending on the time of the day, 80 is also stacked up going that direction. He's on your chest again.
Is he?
Look at him. He's just hanging out. Nope. Yep. He likes your nipples.
That intersection.
Yeah.
It's just. Here was the thing. We were. I had to take Xander. He had a dentist appointment at the. Hey. Welcome to Sad Dad's Club podcast. I don't know the number because now we're 13 minutes in.
I think it's 309 or something.
I'm the Lord Fu.
I'm Jim.
Okay. Xander had. Here's the thing. The last time Xander had a dentist appointment.
They had to pull all of his teeth?
Venus made it for like 3:45.
Uh-huh.
And Xander gets out of class at 3:20.
Uh-huh.
His dentist is down off of like Roseville Parkway, like down by Olympus Point Theaters, that other McCooney's.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's down there.
All right.
Off of
Sunrise
Douglas.
and
yes.
Okay.
So, a good chunk. I've got to go through the Galleria or downtown somehow. But the biggest ham-fisted ass jam is that he gets out at 3:20, and the intersection to pick him up.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked at the school immediately.
Is totally jammed.
Yeah.
So he has to walk. I cannot go get him because even if I was early and like get in the car,
you're still jammed.
I would be jammed getting out.
Yeah.
So and plus, can high school kids in their cars? I trust them
0.
What is a number? No, it's 0. It's 0. I trust them 0. So So his last appointment was at this time, and we were late by like 3 minutes. And so when we remade, I'm going to be totally honest, I was a little bit irritated that my wife or I would agree to a 3:45 time, knowing that we would never be on time. That it would not happen. And even me, driver as me, could not responsibly make that happen, certainly with my son in the
Even
car.
with a sequential shifter.
Right. Hey, and the drift stick would not happen safely.
Right.
So when we had an opportunity to make remake the appointment so 6 months ago, I went, you know what? I'm going to teach your mother a lesson.
Oh, no.
And the lady said, so what time? And I said, 3:45. And I told Xander, I'm like, this is dumb. I cannot believe we were told to do this again, knowing full well all the things.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this lady is going to send your mom an email receipt saying that this is the time, and then when it comes time to do it, I'm going to say, good luck.
Your turn.
Your turn. Except I forgot about it.
Oh, no.
And she just accepted, well, it was the time. So out of sight, out of mind. I'm out of sight, out of mind. Until Saturday, she says, which one of us can take off time for work to take Xander to the dentist? And I went, when? She said, Monday. When? 3:45. And I went,
that's you.
I fucked us.
I think that's you, pal.
And I went, I'll do it.
Oh.
I'll do it.
You
Because
did it to yourself.
I was being a dick. Hashtag hello, my wife.
Sure.
I was being a dick to try and put her in a place where it was like,
You're going to feel what I felt.
yeah, you shouldn't have accepted this time. God damn it.
Because, I mean, in my mind, when you said you made it for 3:45, I'm like, well, why not? You knew. Why not just say 4?
Right. Because I was choosing a pain point time.
I see that. Yeah.
I was being a dick. I was 100% being a dick.
Sure.
Except both of us forgot about it, and then I forgot I was trying to...
She forgot you were being a dick?
Well, she definitely didn't know because she was like, it's 3:45. I'm sure that's perfectly acceptable to her. So when she said someone, which one, I'm like, I'm not going to tell her because her work constraints, certainly working from home, in my mind, are way more restrictive and important than mine.
Yeah.
Like, I have a little bit more wiggle room. That's just my perception. I wouldn't want her to have to take time off that she doesn't need to. She certainly, she has less time to burn for something like that than I do because I don't really go anywhere or take PTO or any of that. So I'm like, I'll do it. It's fine. It's fine. And a couple of times I told Xander, I'm like, you remember when we did the right? And I told you that we were going to teach your mom a lesson? He was like, yeah. And I went, I fucked us. And he's like, what?
I taught myself a lesson.
Right. I have taught myself a lesson. So the pickup was like, here's how it's going to go. You're going to walk out. You're going to get over here to the Mahaney extended parking lot, just like last time. Like, I'm going to pick you up on the sidewalk, and we're just going to hot and go. Which we did. We were 3 minutes late.
That's not bad.
It's not big.
That just means probably one tooth didn't get quite scraped enough.
Right. But well, I'll get it on the tail end. So I'll finish up the dentist story because it's kind of funny. So when we left, Venus was like, just tell the lady who she knows as like on a first name basis because she's a mom, and of course they all
same at my house.
Right.
Sure.
She's like, don't set an appointment. Just tell Cindy or whatever her name was. Just send me an email and we'll do it. We'll do it over email. And I went, perfect, because I'm 0 for 1.
As long as it's not 3
on trying to right. Under no circumstances going forward do we agree to 3:45.
Right.
So Xander gets done, basically gets told, no cavities, good to go, 6 months.
We're still going to pull all your teeth.
6 months reschedule, and we may need to look at the wisdom teeth.
Oh.
Which was weird because the kid that just came out before Xander, the dentist was like, I have a little bit of concerns about the wisdom teeth. I'm like, this motherfucker's running a wisdom teeth racket. He's like,
absolutely.
Push come to shove, he's like, wisdom teeth probably need to come out. Like, how many of these are actual wisdom teeth need to yanks versus they could be fine without I haven't had my wisdom teeth out.
Me neither.
Right. Venus has had hers out.
Is it a situation where they become like painful that they need to come
right,
out?
Because if they don't come up straight, sometimes they can come in sideways, and they will
impact other teeth.
Yeah, they'll impact other teeth. They'll cause like cramping, like or inhibit other teeth growth, or become like stacked, and then they become painful. So to head off the pass, they will yank your.
This is one of the design flaws of the human body.
Sure,
like
of which I don't know anything about because my jaw is, of course, perfect,
uncut.
Right.
I mean, either. I never had.
I was just like, I choose to have. Fine.
Do they not? Were they not aware of the racket in the 80s?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
You know what? We could have them in here for an outpatient surgery.
You know how much money that would bring us in every year?
I mean, it's probably millions.
Yeah.
But let's do that.
I need a new boat.
I mean, we have to send the whole office to Disneyland, so why don't we just yank some more wisdom teeth?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Did I tell you that story?
Yes, that's why I made the joke. Yeah.
Okay, good.
That's how that happens.
I'm like, wait a second, that's a coincidence.
They keep pulling wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
So the office can go all downtown.
Yeah.
So, gets done. Wisdom teeth check in 6 months. Okay, perfect. Receptionist, who's not the
normal one,
but she is in the office, but she's just off doing her own clerical work. The young newbie that I haven't seen before is like, so we reschedule for a thing? And I went, I'll entertain this. Because now I know where my limits are. And I said,
do you have a 3:30?
Do you have I said, I think the first thing she gave me was like a 3:30 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I went, we won't make it. Like, won't happen.
Yeah,
I said we would be late, and I said, and then she gave me a some date in February that was a 3:45, and I went, I can't. Like, do you have something at 4? I just can't.
Yeah,
I can't pull that off. And I said, but any Thursdays or Fridays are perfectly fine. It won't be fine
anytime.
It won't be fine for him because he still has school, but I won't have to be worried about work taking off because I'll be available Thursday anytime after 3:45. Yeah. She's like, nothing. Because his whatever that checkup thing is for wisdom teeth is an hour-long appointment, not a 30-minute one.
So what do they close at 4:15?
Right, I don't know. So she's like, well, we can't. Would 3:30 on a Thursday be okay? And I went, well, no. I still couldn't get here in 10 minutes because he has school until 3:20.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, and then she jaws at Cindy about like whatever like the Roseville School District's like ski week is. She's like, oh, it's from blah, 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 blah. And she went, okay, so he won't have school in this week on any day. And I went, well, Thursday or Friday is fine. Anytime.
Anytime, Sal.
Anytime. She's like, no, I don't know, but it was like 9:30 or something. And I went, fucking fine. Perfect.
You mean I can force him to get out of bed early?
Shit. Yeah.
On his week off?
Fuck yeah. So I made the appointment on a Thursday, which I have a day off, and he has a day off, but now he has to get up early and, fuck off. Haha. Listen, lesson learned. Don't be a dick.
And now Venus doesn't have to worry about it.
And she doesn't have to worry about it. And then when I came home, she didn't have to worry about having to. She got an email that the appointment had been made, and
she didn't get mad at you.
No.
For making it on the wrong day or some weird shit like that?
What is she going to do? Listen, up until the moment she hears this, I solved the problem.
Because that would have been what would happen to me. I would make the appointment and somehow fuck it up. Because there was something going on that I could have never known was happening that day.
The only thing that may have bit me in the ass would have been if there was some sort of a band thing, but Xander historically doesn't take symphonic band in the spring. So given that they knew, the only thing that could fuck me at this point would be whether or not the Roseville School District doesn't have that week off.
You should probably check.
But Cindy said they had it off.
Cindy.
So fucking...
You can blame her.
If anyone's going to have fucking troubles, it's Cindy's fault. But so by the time I got home, I had to go straight back to work because it was like I had put it in my lunch. I'm like, no, I'll just send it off a thing. I'm like, I'll handle this. Again, it might be a long lunch. I take my son to the dentist. Yeah. So when I came home, Xander went straight in the office, or straight into his room and started doing homework, and then I went straight in the office to like unlock and start going back to crunching shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a chance to talk to Venus, and then by the time I was done with work and catching up, Venus had already gotten the mail from the dentist's office. Like, I went, yeah, so here's the appointment, dentist, fucking wisdom teeth, like checkup, no cavities, good to go. And she didn't yell at me.
But they still want to pull all the teeth.
Right, probably.
Every single one of them.
The Disney teeth, baby. The second part of that story, why is your son like spamming us with shit? The second part of that story, relative to the 65 stuff, was that I was having like driver tips talking to Xander about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't scheduled anything for like permit or anything, but I was taking it as an opportunity to be like, well, I have a captive audience here. Like, you're not gonna drive, but
you ever seen a grown man naked?
You ever? Yeah. How about no? What? Prison. That's where you go. I was like, well, I could talk to him about just stuff that a passenger could intake. I'm like, because we had a thing just the night before. Venus works with the band boosters, and they're doing equipment buys and costuming stuff for the field show. And a young man is buying gloves, but didn't put his size. And Venus knew that he was slightly bigger than Xander, but then asked Xander, like, what do you know, like, what size gloves blah blah wears? And he was like, no, why would I know that? And I'm like, well, do you ever shake his hand or fist bump him? Like, he's like, why would I be paying attention to the size of his hands?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, pretty
Weirdo.
much. And he's like, why would I be looking at that?
Why would I shake his hand?
Because
why would I fist bump
you're
him?
just paying attention to stuff. Like, what? Why would you,
Observation.
Like, slap him on the ass, or he slaps you on the ass, and you're just getting a general, like, wow, that was...
Like when you're taping his buns together.
Yeah.
In the locker room.
Right. There's no hair.
And he's
on the
trying to keep you off of his backside.
Right.
How big
Why
are his
isn't there
fucking
hair
hands?
on his left cheek?
When he is ham-fisting you while you're taping his ass together.
How do you not know how big his hands are? So I'm like, and in the moment, I was like trying to, it's just like an awareness thing. So we're in the car, and we are going through that Chevron, the Washington intersection.
Yeah.
With the Chevron on the corner.
Uh-huh.
And as we come over the hill, I get from the far right lane into the middle lane.
Oh, yeah.
Because...
Oh, I know.
Right.
Oh, I know.
You know.
I do.
So...
You're going to fly off of that fucker.
Right. So plus it's always congested because it's also a turn lane that comes from the single lane.
Yeah.
And then when you get across the intersection, the other side of the intersection is a merge lane and a bus lane.
Yeah.
So we get through the intersection, And then we come to, of course, the Roseville Parkway, Pleasant Grove one with the right turn into the mall.
Yeah.
And that right-hand thing is always a shit show in and of itself.
And the left-hand turn lane's always stacked up, too.
Right.
Going
So
on the Galleria.
we get through those two things, and we're on the way to the mall, and I went, so I want to tell you about like a game that I play, or like you may have noticed some things, and I want to explain them to you. I said, and this kind of goes back to your, why would I be looking at the size of his hands thing last night? I said, you, as a driver, there are all kinds of skill sets, right? And there are all kinds of enthusiast tiers, and some of those tiers are 0. I said, but in all cases, once you're behind this wheel, one of the most fundamental and important things you need to understand is that you need to be aware all the time.
Yeah.
You need to head on a swivel. I said, a lot of it is kind of like I'm going to make a joke here, but like Batman. You need to always be prepared.
Well, it's also kind of a game.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, do you when I'm driving along and I do a hand on the wheel and I'll point off to the side and I'll go, don't do it. Don't do it. And I'm just kind of like pointing off to a car, or I'll point off like off in the distance, or I'll just say something. He's like, yeah. I said, a lot of times that's me just trying to keep myself aware that, obviously what's in front of me is a huge majority of what you need to be concerned about. But you need to be aware of as close to 360 as possible without creating a distraction. I said, so the creating a game of like sarcastic or don't do it and points helps me always be paying attention, but also like, okay, yeah, I am
noted. I got you.
Right,
I see you.
Will doing that save me every time from a mistake? Absolutely not. I said, that's not really the point of that. It is to make it interesting, to be paying attention. And a lot of times the humor involved in, don't do it, fucker.
Mm-hmm.
I said, listen, you're a paste eater. Like making it fun by insulting someone.
In the confines of your own vehicle.
Right. They can't hear me.
Right.
And I'm not a rager person either.
Right.
Like, it is a very, very low number of my entire time driving where I have honked out of irritation. Most of those, if always, are an emergency, like, fuck, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't honk.
I'm here, motherfucker.
Right. I will cuss at you up the storm. But I generally, I don't get real ragey. I don't get ragey. Like, I will get irritated, but then back to the mission at hand. I said, so you want to be able to, it's like one of those things where you're looking at something, but you can see what's going, like you're focused on what's directly in front of you, but you can see the periphery. I said, you kind of want to be in that vision all the time. Now, add that mirror, add that mirror, add that mirror. And then you can't be afraid to look.
It's like a human radar system.
Right.
Like, I'm always tracking where the cars are around me. And if I ever let up, then all of a sudden I don't know.
Right.
And that's when I make a mistake.
Right. Yes.
You know, if I let up just for a couple of minutes.
I said,
or a
and
minute.
a lot of this, I said, it's not to. I mean, it makes for good jokes, but I said, I feel like the skill set in driving has degraded below my generation.
Oh, for sure.
I said, so it only benefits me more to try and pass on to you a greater need to be aware, because I feel like less people are. They're like, I'm in my car and I'm doing something, and the phones, or
phones.
getting lost in singing something. Who knows? It could be. It's any gender. It's any task. The distractions in modern cars are a lot more than they used to be, and the skill set, I feel personally, has. So when you compound those things, it only creates what I told him is an opportunity for humans to be humans. So you have to do your best to be better, to help reduce mistakes that you may be able to catch if you weren't otherwise just paying more attention. He's like, okay. And I said, and what you'll pick up in a couple of things outside of awareness is once you start driving, this is the same thing I told Piper, you'll start picking up patterns of the places that you go, of the things where you're like, oh, I need to do. I said, if you noticed, when we came over the hill, I moved from the far, if you didn't, I'm going to explain it to you. I moved from the far right lane to this lane. Do you have any idea why I would have done that? Well, no. And I said, there are a couple of things. One, that lane turns into a turn lane. So it doesn't always flow the same as these two. I said, and the one to my left, the far left lane, oftentimes may get jammed up because that's a split into a left turn lane. I said, also, the far right lane has a terrible hump right in the middle of the intersection.
Yep.
And it will
launch your car.
Yeah, it'll launch you or your car if you're not paying attention. I said, and then once you get through the intersection, you tend to get what people, it's called a perceptive obstacle, which I learned in the last time I was in a driver's training class from the last speeding ticket I got. And that is when people are driving up a hill, because they can't see over it, there is a perceptive nature that it becomes an obstacle, and they let off the accelerator, unless you have a piece of shit car. It happens the same with rubbernecking. Like you're looking at a crash on your left-hand side, your hands will instinctively turn to the way your head is turning.
Right.
Or if you are merging and you're looking to get clearance, your hands will instinctively turn the way your head is leaning. I'm like, so when people merge on the other side of the intersection, people are like, oh God, there's a car coming right at me, and so they start slowing. But the merger also starts slowing because they're like, well, now I'm looking for a place to get in, and there's a bus stop. I'm like, far right lane right here is a shit show.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be in it. I said, this right turn lane at the intersection we just passed coming to the Galleria, shit show. You get people who are like, oh, fuck, I'm not in the turn lane. Or people that like, oh, they'll move, and they try and cut off. Mm-hmm. You have people in the not turn lane at the intersection light that wait for a green and then come over.
Yep.
You have guys making a left-hand turn into you, and they come all the way into your merging lane. I'm like, you have to be watching here. The lane itself is a shit show. And then you have to, some people come into that merge, and then they stop waiting for the cars that are coming. Like, oh, well, it's a merge. You got to get on the shit. Oh, okay. Well, all right. I'm like, I'm not trying to scare you, but it is truly an awareness game.
Yeah. The patterns is a big one with me. The one of the biggest ones, and I end up driving it all the time, is the Pleasant Grove Bridge over 65. So if you're going from this area, and you're going past Walmart and over the bridge towards like Lowe's, that right lane is a complete fucking shit show all the time.
Oh yes.
Okay, so for me, if you stay in the middle lane and want to turn into Lowe's or want to turn right and go to Home Depot or something, you stay in that middle lane, and invariably what happens is people go to the freeway on-ramp right there.
Yes.
And it leaves a gap, and then you can get into there. You can get in that way. Yeah. That way you're not, I've seen so many rear-enders in that lane.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even funny.
Yeah.
So it's always stacked up with traffic. So that's one thing. That's just one minor thing. The other thing is going the other direction on the same road.
Yes.
If I'm coming up Pleasant Grove, I stay again in the middle lane. Once I get past the freeway off-ramp, everyone wants to go into the Walmart. And then I move over into the right lane because that one's usually pretty empty.
Right.
Everyone's over in the left.
Yeah.
And that's the lane I need to be in order to get to my neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like seeing patterns in like the traffic and seeing your most efficient routes. And also planning ahead because at some point I got to turn right. I don't need to be in the left lane if I'm going to turn right in a half a mile. You know, there's just stuff like that. But knowing also that in a half a mile, that lane's going to be stacked up, but at some point I'll be able to get in.
Right.
Because of some other thing. So
some of these cars are going to peel off.
Yeah.
And I'll take my shot there, but I'm not going to,
Now, I will say, going towards Lowe's.
Yes.
There are times where I can't get over.
Absolutely.
And then I just keep going straight.
I just go straight.
And I go around the block.
Yeah.
And I pop back out on Fairway, and it's fine. Yeah. I did that tonight.
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't get
all
over.
The way
That's
through,
fine.
Past the Nugget, go right, and then you come right down on the other side of the... hashtag thanks, Ingress.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Honestly, a lot of the driving stuff around here is Ingress.
Like, you learn all the...
Now, traffic at 1 a.m. is decidedly different.
Totally. Yeah.
And the other thing I showed him, too, on our way out there, was I had, our Apple Maps up with the route and the timing. I'm like, you would agree that if there was someone that could get you here faster...
It would be me.
Or the fastest, it would be me.
Yeah.
And I said, and we were hotting it a couple times. I said, we did not shave.
No, it doesn't make much difference.
A minute off.
Yeah.
So it was probably about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It was like between 47, 48, 47, 48, 47, 48. And then we hit in at 48.
Yeah.
I'm like.
It is.
I'm like, you
have to be going very fast.
Right. I'm like, you will not make up in the distance of somewhere here around town.
You're not going to make up minutes.
You will not make up minutes.
Unless you hit every light green or something.
Or ran them. But I'm like, we're talking maybe 1 to 2 minutes tops.
Right.
And you would be having to go at a speed that you would be reckless. You would have to be busting through something as far as lights or intersections that you were probably doing illegally to hit those times.
Well, and you're at risk of getting a ticket.
Right. Like all of those things. I'm like, it's just not worth it. Take the L, you'll be late. It's okay. Like, and if someone doesn't understand, well, that's on you. One, to plan better, leave earlier. Like, if you have to sit in a parking lot at a parking space for 5 minutes, but you got there.
You didn't have to rush.
Safely. Like, leave 5 to 10 minutes early and just be fucking fine with it.
I'm a big proponent of that, to be honest with you.
Like, don't speed. There's no need to speed.
We were talking about the dentist earlier. My dentist is on the other side of town in Granite Bay.
Holy shit.
Sierra College in Douglas.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, so if I have a 4 o'clock appointment, I got to leave at like 3:30 at least.
Yeah.
And I always gauge it on the long side, but I end up getting there a little early.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'd rather sit in the lobby than be frustrated in traffic and worry about whether or not I'm going to get there on time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, so close. Oh,
he got it.
I thought you smacked him.
I did. He went to the light.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Go to the light.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big thing for me. I am a big proponent of planning your route ahead in your mind of like, I need to turn there and I need to at some point make sure I'm in this lane early enough or whatever. And it really pisses me off when you get cut off by people when they're cutting across 3 lanes of traffic.
Yeah.
To like turn right in front of you. You're like, motherfucker. Like, plan ahead.
I think one of the biggest differences for me as a young driver that Xander and Piper, or maybe even you being much more like urban down here, is that whenever I wanted to go somewhere, there was only one route, right?
Oh,
To get from home,
you had a 2-lane road that took you somewhere.
Like there were no options. So it has been almost like a drum beating lesson for both kids to be like, how are
you going to get there? There's 100 different ways.
From Planet Fitness, how do you get home?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you have a ton of options. So to pull off a 3-lane cross because you want to go left here because that's how you get home, I'm like, you don't need to just go straight. Do the loop around to get to Lowe's, or go straight to the next light. Can you make a safe U-turn? That's not illegal.
Yeah.
Make the U-turn, or you have way more options. Take all of the options. It's okay.
Sometimes it depends on your mindset in the moment, right? Like there's times where I'm coming up Washington, and my house is going to be. I'll turn right on Pleasant Grove, and then I have to cross Pleasant Grove to get into my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes Pleasant Grove's really busy, and in my mind, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to sit there and wait at the left turn light, not a light, but at the left turn lane in order to get into my neighborhood. I don't want to wait for the droves of traffic to come by.
Right.
And so I'll just go straight at the light and go down to Hallisey and turn right at the school there.
Yeah.
And because it's just like, I just don't, even though I'm going to sit at a red light, I just don't feel like trying to battle crossing 3 lanes of crazy ass traffic to get into my neighborhood.
Yeah. A lot of our routes to and from, we've adjusted, or at least I personally have adjusted, because I don't want to, there's a lot of debris on Pleasant Grove right now with all the construction. So if I'm going to the gym, I try to leave here and cut off as much of traveling on Pleasant Grove, so that way I'm not kicking up rocks into windshields, or I'm not going to get hit with the rock in the windshield.
Right.
Is it going to eliminate all of those cases? Absolutely not. But I know alternate routes to get there and remove some opportunities for cracked windshields or chipped paint. But I'll just go a longer way.
Yeah.
It's totally okay.
Friday, Millie came home from work, unpaid work.
Way to go, volunteer.
And she's like, well, it happened today. I got a rock chip in my windshield. And I'm like, oh shit, is it split or is it just a ding? And she's like, oh, it's just a ding.
Oh, quick.
So I called. I got a glass guy now.
Oh, that's right.
So I have a glass guy. He knows where I live even. He's like, I don't even have to GPS your house anymore. We're on this kind of like, we have a relationship. He's worked on every car in my house now. He's replaced the windshield in the ATS. He's done rock chip repairs on the CRV.
Oh yeah.
And so I sent him a text on Friday. He's like, I didn't even know. Apparently he got a new shop at Junction and Washington.
Okay.
Right in that area.
Yeah.
And he's like, bring it to the shop. And it just happened to turn out that we were taking Max to Folsom to his vet.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I can't. But he came, we did a car swap thing. So Melly left her car home. He came at like 8:30. Mm-hmm. Was there like 20 minutes. Cost me $60 to get the chip filled.
Yeah.
Dude's coolest guy ever. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So don't have to replace that windshield.
It's good that she caught it before it spidered.
It wasn't a very big. It was a small hit.
Was it?
Yeah, because like I'm conscious about. I've had enough windshield replacements with all the commutes that like I've seen a chip turn into a split.
Oh yeah,
and
especially with the heat late, you get like hot windshield. And then you get in your car and your AC gets kicked in, and then all of a sudden...
Yeah, when I had a PT Cruiser, I was driving home from Davis from work, and it was really hot. It was like 108 or something that day. I was on 80. Something kicked up, hit the edge of the windshield on the top. I heard it smack the window. And I went, oh, man. And I'm looking, I don't see anything. And all of a sudden, it just went like, there was enough heat that like, I was like a mile after it hit, it just went, and then it just started moving like across the window. And I didn't even have the opportunity. Yeah, never even had the opportunity to get that fixed. It was just like, well, there's a new windshield, you know?
Fuck.
And the problem is that we have State Farm. They don't have a glass replacement option.
Really?
Yeah, it's super irritating. So it's just part of your regular comprehensive coverage.
Okay.
So whatever your deductible is, that's what you pay. And my deductible is $250. So it's going to cost me $250 to replace a windshield, which is, and I'll call them everyone. You guys have a glass option yet? Like a $50 thing that I can add onto my policy? No, we don't have that. Like other people do. Why don't you guys do it?
What if I gave you a hand job? No, sir. Again, for the 37th time.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, remember like the Civic, that big...
Yes.
I mean, I had that. It happened in the Cadillac. That happened in the Civic. On the same road. You know what I'm saying? Within a couple of miles of each other, actually.
Bad juju right there.
49.
Jesus.
Highway 49's...
Oh, yeah, notorious.
Notorious for that.
Because you get all those fucking hashtag
well,
rednecks
with
their big stomper tires. And
the Civic, I had a dash cam, and you could see the rock kick up from the car in front of me, from the pickup truck in front of me, and hit the windshield. So that one was explainable. The Cadillac, there wasn't anybody around. I don't know where the rock came from. There wasn't anyone around. And it did a bit. It was a big.
Did you have footage of it?
No, I don't know. I don't have the dash
That's
cam.
good because we could probably analyze it based off of physics and equations. We could analyze the arc and speed and find out the direction in which it came from, and it would turn out to be a man in prison. What have we?
Yeah, I don't know.
We're near time. I have a funny haha.
Okay, make it happen.
So, last week, this time, roughly, after we had finished the podcast, Nick was over. And I think at some point of the weekend prior to last Wednesday, Nick and I were just talking video games, like it was just a random thing, and he asked me if I had played Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
Oh, actually, the talk where we had that was because he went with us rock climbing. So we had this talk on the way home talking about video games. And he asked me if I'd played Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm like, oh, yeah. First one, second one. God damn, those are great games. Like, absolutely love those games. So we get done with the chat, and he drops off. And so it's Wednesday last week. And on Tuesday, the day before, I had been watching a Destiny content creator, like one of his videos that I hadn't seen through the force of AI algorithms, had popped up in my stream. There's a slight lull in Destiny new content, so he was trying other games that his chat had recommended him play, and one of them was Red Dead Redemption 2. And I went, well, fuck, I haven't seen this game in years. I'll watch him play this blind. Yeah. Absolutely. And he is playing it from the start of the story, and he's getting through about 15 minutes of his video drop, and I went, I have not played this game.
So you thought you had?
I thought I had. I definitely had played Red Dead Redemption 1. I recognized nothing from Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
So I went, wow, shit. So when we got done, I went into the house, and I went, Nick, I think he was on his way out, and I went, oh, wait, Nick, I wanted to tell you. Remember when I told you, I said I had played Red Dead Redemption 2? And he's like, yeah. And I went, I have not. And he went, what? And I said, I told the same story about the Destiny content creator. I'm like, I didn't recognize shit. I didn't know what the fuck was going on there. He's like, oh, I'm like 20 hours into it with like 5%, or he had like 40 hours and he's at 20%. It was something ridiculous. I'm like, oh yeah, there's 300. If you do all of the stuff at a pace that's not blistering. There's 300 hours of content in there if you want to do it. I'm like, and that was probably not all far off from Red Dead Redemption 1. So I recognize that there's a lot of time sinking. Anyway, so I'm telling him that, and we're talking more video games. I'm like, fuck, so maybe I want to get into that, because Destiny's in the lull. We won. We beat the thing. So I'm like, if I play something, I want to try something new. And fuck, I love Red Dead Redemption 1. Maybe I'll play that. And then as he's leaving, he goes, oh, well, PlayStation Plus has like Lego games like free for the month.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, well, fucking free. I have PS Plus. Like, oh, I'll get that. Sure, like, okay. And I like Lego games. So I'm like, sure. You know what? I got to tell Jim, because Jim loves Lego games too. And he's like, oh, all right. So then he gets out the door, and Piper's like walking with him on his way out. And Venus is like, oh, I like Lego games too. And then he turns around and he goes, yeah, it's like the Star Wars ones. And I went,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And he went, yeah, it's like it's like a collection of the Star Wars Lego games. And I went, for free? Yeah. And he went, yeah, it's like for the month. So I just like, I'm like, stop. The Star Wars ones? Yep. And he went, yeah. And I went, holy fuck, I got to tell Jim. So they left, and I went, you should have led with Star Wars free Lego games, because the guy.
Yeah.
The door didn't even shut, and I'm powering on the PS5, and Venus is like going through. She's like, I don't see it on mine, because her profile doesn't have PS Plus.
Oh.
I'm like, you just fucking switched my profile, and then the fucking games and the PS Plus description is free. It's the Star Wars saga, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I get that downloaded, started.
Yeah. How long did that take?
It's not long, Jim. Not fucking long. Because the length of time he left my house and me taking over the controller and starting the download of the Star Wars saga.
Yeah.
And then happily, with excitement, to share with my friend that the Star Wars Lego saga was available for free on PS Plus to my friend.
I see where you're headed here.
Oh, you fucking see. To tell him, hey, man, those games that you love playing, and it's Star Wars. Like, we're starting to... and you say...
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. Melanie and I have played it a couple times. And at that point, I knew I was hated.
No. I didn't even think about it, because I had purchased all those on the Switch.
Oh, okay.
And played them I'm not done. But I have played the shit out of that on the Switch. And so when I got it on the PlayStation, I was kind of like, download this on the PlayStation. It's for free, whatever.
Yeah.
I've already done a boatload of this, Yeah. But then I was kind of like, well, Melly might want to play with me.
Yeah.
And then that's all the thought I gave it. And I was like, look what they got, Melly. And she's like, oh, cool. And then we played.
Yeah.
And I didn't even put it together.
Oh, I know now.
Because in my mind, you're an Xbox guy or a PC guy.
Sure.
So I'm like, I didn't think you would necessarily want to be playing on the PS5, or it didn't cross my mind. So my apologies.
I played Destiny on all 3 devices.
Okay.
So it was. I went,
I'll take that. I'll take it.
I sent it, and then you said the reply. The guy I played with Melanie, and I went, motherfucker. And Venus goes, what? And I went, he already knew. He didn't tell the Star Wars guy. She's like, what?
All you got to do every month is log into your PlayStation Plus and see what the free games are.
Yeah, I should do that.
Actually, there were 2. Usually there's 3 games, and there were 2 other games. Friday Night at Freddy's or whatever.
Okay.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Yes. You know that movie or game?
Yeah.
I downloaded that because that was free.
Yeah.
I tried that a little bit. That's a
so I don't
game.
dabble.
Anyway.
Uh-oh. Love you. Good night. I don't dabble in PS Plus.
Yeah.
what happens after the 30 days?
It's yours. I think once you buy it.
If you download it,
if you download it, it's yours.
it's yours.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering. I did wonder, like, if I download it and then the
30 days is up.
Preview 30 days is up, does it not start?
No,
anymore?
it's a free thing that's tied to your PlayStation.
If you partake in it and download it in the 30 days, then
it's yours.
It's yours.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then you've missed the boat.
Then you've missed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I think because now it's part of your account, if you delete it and re-add it later,
it's still good.
It's still good. It'll still.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I believe. I think.
We're not quite sure.
I'm pretty sure because you've basically bought it for free.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
It's part of your account.
I'll probably be one of those people that will find out how that policy works because I don't, like I said.
Yeah. Now I need to buy an SSD is all I'm saying.
Do you? Are you running short?
It's getting close.
Oh, shit.
I got a lot of stuff on there.
God damn.
Most of it's Destiny, I'm sure.
Good for you.
Packs.
Good for you. You're a good man.
I'm into that game. I don't know
Fuck yeah, you should. That's good for you. I'm excited.
I really enjoy it. It's crazy. I'm like, oh, it's lunchtime. It's too hot to walk Max.
Oh.
No, how about Destiny for 45 minutes?
Fire team, load up.
Yeah.
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 Current favorite gun?
I still love the Battler.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Okay.
I have some. I forget what it's called. Oh, the not for here or not
forgotten. That's a hand cannon.
No, I forget what it's called.
Okay.
Anyway, that I like that one too.
Yeah.
And then there's some other. There's like 3 kind of that I switch between.
Or is any of them a hand cannon yet?
I've tried a couple of them, but I just haven't really been that enamored with the ones that I tried.
Yeah.
And then I tend to stay away from the special weapons because then you're looking for
special
stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a pain if you run out of ammo all of a sudden and you're like, fuck.
Right.
I've only got this gun now. And I really want that one.
Right.
And now I'm scrounging for shit to use.
So today's Wednesday. Yesterday was the last story beat of the current story that's going on. We're in not a season, the episode 3. So the last part of the story. But did you beat that one level?
The one that I was stuck on? No, I haven't. I haven't. Which is weird because like it says it's a fire team thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, no, I haven't revisited it because I have died so many times in there that I'm frustrated with it. So I've been working on it.
When I told Venus that we had the talk about where you were on the same thing, she just
got me angry.
She's like, yeah, fuck that one.
We're in the same boat right now.
That one's stupid. Fucking stupid.
So the thing of it is that level, it will get harder as I improve.
Yes.
So it will never. I'll never get to the point to where it'll be easier. It's gonna be as hard as I am leveled. Right.
Eventually, your gun skill will afford you, or movement skill will make your light level irrelevant. You will just be able to, as far as your light level, it will always scale, yes. But you can improve your thumbstick skill detached from your light. So if you know where to move, the enemies are going to hurt no matter what, relative to what you're wearing and the gun light levels that you have. But if you move better, they can't compensate for that. If you shoot headshots or precision shots more than you do body shots, they can't compensate for that.
Right.
So eventually, your thumb skill will outpace the matched equipment level that they're going at.
Yeah. Okay.
because that's how I do it, right? So
I mean, that's how I have way improved over when I first started playing, for sure. There's moments where it's overwhelming how much is coming at you.
Yes.
And by the time I realize how overwhelmed my character is, it's too late. And I haven't been able to move quick enough, and I usually take it in the shorts. Yeah. So I have a moment like that where it's like, oh shit, like where did all this come from? And my health is going south fast. Yeah. And I'm like, it's beeping at me, and I'm trying to get out of the fucking way of the fire. And I'm not getting to a place where I can get away from the fire. And I'm jumping.
I need to reload.
Yeah. And I'm jumping, and the fire is still coming at me, and I'm dying while I'm flying through the air or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that, but one of the things that I find as a challenge is when to use your arc powers.
Yes.
Because they take a while to regenerate.
Sure.
And so they do a lot of damage when you can use them.
Yes.
But you have to be ready for the minute or two while it's rebuilding those.
Yeah.
To be able to take it until those are available, and you can do more damage.
Yes.
What I'm getting more adept at is switching to a heavy or some, grenade launcher or rocket launcher that I can do more damage in the time frame that I have.
Yeah.
That makes a difference for me. So it's definitely my skill set on the gameplay is improving.
Yes. So we'll may be starting to face as far as like leaving on the table are the things that help you regenerate those abilities faster that you haven't even I'm not talking
upgraded them or whatever.
Right. The actually tuning the components of your armor to do some of the specific things that help regenerate those things.
Oh, I'm sure that's the case because I don't have any idea what's tied to what.
So you may now be butting into a bottleneck where for the moment, at the time that you have, you're almost capped at the skill increase. And you know how your abilities work, and you're comfortable with the guns, but what you haven't touched at all is tuning some, but
armor.
Not to precision some of your armor mods to help facilitate uptime on your abilities.
Right.
Because
what ends up happening for me is I go into my armor and I'm like, okay, that's a bigger number, choose it. Oh, that's a bigger number. Choose that.
Yeah.
That's a bigger number. And I'm not really paying attention to...
Any of the little boxes inside?
Yeah, I'm not paying attention to what that armor...
Or the stats. The numbers.
Yeah, right? I'm not paying attention to the stats for sure. I'm just looking at the level number of it.
Right.
And I'm also not paying attention to whether or not they're tied to an arc in any way or help against a specific... bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm sure there's more to. There's more to learn there.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to find out how to do that stuff. Most of it for me is just at some point I'll be like, oh, I see how this works, and that that's how I learn the game is just fucking around with shit and going, shit, I didn't realize this was here.
Yeah.
Look at you can delve into this thing.
Yeah.
It's more of a discovery process, and my opinion is in the arc stuff, my favorite is the solar, where you're throwing fireballs and shit like that.
Right.
I really like that. My expectation is that you would get some sort of upgrade mechanism that would shorten the time for those to rebuild?
Yes.
And are those tied to the armor, or is it because I haven't seen that necessarily? Or maybe
there are things, yes.
Okay, then
there are fragments within the solar thing, but then there are also mods that you put into your armor that all can also play into doing that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I have like the different things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have those kind of down on the things that I really like the way that works, or I like the way this works.
Yeah.
Now, as far as like making them take less time to reload, I don't know. I haven't figured out the thing that allows me to do that. You know what I'm saying? So there's a mechanism in there somewhere that I haven't found or don't understand what
Warlock,
it does.
Right?
Yeah.
Warlock? I can show you some stuff.
Okay. That's where I kind of get stuck there.
Yeah.
Because it's frustrating for me to like, oh, I use this thing and now I'm waiting 2 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
And fuck, now I've got to keep my health alive long enough to get this good thing back.
Right.
Where, I can use my guns, sure, but this other thing is way more adept at making more damage.
Sure.
And so it's a little bit frustrating. And, I like the healing thing.
Right.
So I do stand in my little circle, and if it's a bad guy, I just keep going at him until the circles, and then I move.
Right.
So, I'm learning.
Yeah. You're like right there, buddy. You're ready to graduate to the next tier of awesome.
And then I feel weird about it too, because you and I have been playing, but you're like your guy is way higher level than me. And so you're just like, oh, let's run through the fucking grassy field together. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know. Oh, I died. Oh, I'm dead. And, I know you're definitely playing down to my level for sure.
Well,
I get it.
It's patterns, Jim. I'm doing patterns inside. Like I know where that guy's shooting.
I mean,
he's shooting at you.
It's fun for me. I learn stuff, but also at the same time, I'm like, fuck, how did he just decimate all those dudes like that fast? Yeah. And there's times where I'm in some other fire team like quest thing.
Yeah.
And there's guys in there that are hauling ass through the quest so fast, like I don't even have the time to shoot shit.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating too, because for me, part of it is the adventure of the game, or the like environment and being able to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like some of the quests where it's just by myself, because I can like ping stuff off like sniper rifle style,
but also look at the skybox.
But be able to check out what the fuck,
right?
Some
of the skybox art in that game is like top tier that I've seen in any game I've ever played.
It's impressive.
Very much.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I'm always looking at, like, even when I'm in a world, go to the moon or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what's my limit? Where does it tell me to turn back? I don't know what look at the map. Okay, I see the map, but where can I not go? That's what I need to know right now.
Yeah.
So I'll start like
a crater that I can't.
Yeah, I'll start exploring the edge and figuring out where I can't. Oh, okay, I see. This is the limit of the maps.
Beep, 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 beep. Turn back. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. So there's a lot of learning in there, because I've never really played any of that stuff. So anyway, Destiny 2 it's fun.
That it is so crazy that after the years of us playing not that Ingress, and then just sitting here shooting the shit, that you would randomly over a holiday sale. No, it wasn't. It was just a random sale. You bought the PS5, and we're like, hey, and it happened to coincide with the 30th anniversary where things were fucking free. And you're like, well, cool, I've got one of these, and now I guess,
Oh, Destiny 2, Jason plays that.
It's fucking free.
I'll have to check it out. It's free? I can just download it?
4 or 5 years of doing this in the twilight hours, you're like, fucking hey.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to be able to play it on the Switch.
Oh, God, no.
And I don't PC game.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even own a PC.
There's too many hackers over there.
I only own Macs. And then we all know they aren't gamer systems.
Yeah, no. Which sucks, because...
They can be. They can be, but the developers have to put their effort there, and they just aren't willing to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. So dumb.
The machines are capable.
Yes,
Quite capable.
If I'm crunching Final Cut shit,
Right.
you can play Destiny.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, come on now.
They're just not willing to do it, especially now with Apple Silicon.
Right. And I don't want to play in a fucking container virtual Windows thing on a like,
where your frame rate's dropping down.
No, I don't. I just want to play it native. Why can't I play it native?
Yeah.
Quit fucking around.
Right. I agree with that. That's been the bane of the Mac gaming community for years.
Yeah, like what? Come on.
It seemed like it always seems like there's a certain point in time where all of a sudden there's some hope. You see, like at one of the conferences, Apple will show some game, and you're like, "Fuck! Oh, they're doing that on the Mac now? Cool." And then you sort of expect like other companies to be like, "Oh, we're gonna also our studio's gonna do this for the Mac now too," but then it just never happens. Like nobody wants to put any of their development dollars in developing for the Mac because it's essentially not. It's almost like starting with zero market. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like maybe people will buy it if we spend a shitload of money and develop this for this platform.
Yeah, we'll just
maybe
cut everything back and make it mobile to play on an iPad.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're going to say like, oh, you got to have a MacBook Pro, or oh, you got to have I don't know.
Yeah.
Something with a decent graphics card in it.
I mean, when you're making money hand over fist, I guess you just don't have to have fucks to give about games. Like Photoshop runs great. Final Cut runs great.
I mean, that's
Adobe
what their
Premiere.
machines are known for, really, is the creative side of stuff. Illustrator, Photoshop, Final Cut Pro.
Well, you do it
Adobe
great.
Premiere.
Good job, dickheads.
Avid, all those. So, anyway. So
that's it.
Yep.
We're at time for
cool.
sure.
All right, we're good.
We're at 100%.
Thanks for listening, and we should also say that you need to
return the cart.
Wash your ass.
Wash your hands.
Check your oil, Tony.
Register to vote.
Make the call if you need to.
Stay up to date on your shots.
Do the kindness.
Pick up a broom. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate it.
Bye.